welcome to another vlog. I'm on the Lower East Side today because there are a few cafes and shops that I want to visit. And it is the week before Thanksgiving, so it's pretty chill. I have a couple of events to go to today, but for the most part, we are going to go have some coffee, get some breakfast, and then see some bookstores, some homeware stores, and see where the day takes us. I'm going to be doing my Q&A around the city as we go around because I feel like that's a little bit more interesting. You guys will get to see some other spots, and I will answer the questions that you guys put on YouTube and on Instagram, so thank you so much for sending those. I am standing in this lovely little square that still has orange leaves. It's also very noisy because it's a big street, but that is New York. So let's get some coffee and start our day. Coffee hit the spot. La Cabra has some excellent coffee I highly recommend, and their cardamom bun was perfect together with that. And now I am walking towards Tompkins Square Park. It is actually quite early to be in the East Village right now because most things open at 11 or 12. It's more of a nighttime place. A lot of it is nightlife, but the few shops that I am eyeing aren't yet open. So I am walking to Tompkins Square Park just to enjoy today's weather. We are going to have 65 degrees today, and I feel like this is going to be the last time before next year. So I'm just going to enjoy not having to wear a jacket. Made it to the park, so let's get into the first question. It is, how did you and your husband meet? Seeing as to how it's cuffing season, I figured I'd start with a romantic question. And if you didn't know this and you're just tuning in, let's start with the basics. My name is Chantal and I live in New York City with my husband and 2-year-old son. We met during undergrad at MIT, and his fraternity was 2 doors down from my sorority, which sounds incredibly cliche, but actually they're all just a bunch of nerdy living groups. So my best guy friend was in his frat, and I would spend a ton of time there, and my best girlfriend was on the track team with him, so he was sort of like my second degree connection. And one day he just joined us to go to the movies, and I was very confused because we'd never hung out before, but it turns out my guy friend was hyping him up, and long story short, we fell in love. I basically more or less lived with him for the better part of my time at MIT. He was 1 year ahead, so when he graduated, we moved into an apartment with a bunch of friends, and he took a year to work before going to grad school. And he actually proposed to me a week before my graduation on a trip to Barcelona, and I almost found the ring. I found the ring box in his backpack and was confused about why he took his class ring. Class rings are like a really big thing at MIT. They're called brass rats. They're very chunky, and a lot of people wear them on special occasions or all the time. And we had talked about taking ours with us because I was about to graduate, and sometimes you can spot like other alumni wearing the ring, and it's fun. It's a conversation starter. But we thought we don't want to lose them, so we are leaving them at home. And when I found the box, I was really confused why he ended up taking it anyway. I didn't look inside, thankfully, because actually it was an engagement ring box. And on our last night there, it was raining, it was dark, but we went to one of the really famous fountains, and he just underneath an umbrella, proposed. I was shell-shocked. I don't remember most of what he said, but obviously I said yes. And then the next day we were flying to Germany for him to actually meet all of my family for the first time there. And I was, instead of introducing a boyfriend, now introducing a fiance. So smart move on his part. We got married a couple years later while we were in grad school. And now we are here in this beautiful place with a child 12 years later. This park is so peaceful. I haven't been here in a really long time, and especially not early in the day, and I'm loving it. All the leaves are falling from the trees because it's a bit windy. There are a ton of kids playing, and it's just really relaxing. It is now almost 11, so we are going to start heading to a bookshop around the corner, and then the stores will be opening, so we're gonna have a little mooch around and see what we find. I just walked out of the book club. I think that would be a really lovely spot at night with some drinks. It's very vibey in there, and they do have a bunch of novels and graphic novels and some books about nonfiction in New York City if you want to browse. It's family owned, and after 6 p.m. no laptops, but before you can, so a bunch of people are working in there. I recommend. So the second question you guys asked is New York City your forever home, and are you guys planning on moving? And my answer is I would love it to be. We have no plans to leave the city. We get asked all the time if we're gonna settle down and get a house because we have a kid. No, my dream is a brownstone, and if money were no option, it could be, you know, Fort Greene, Cobble Hill, West Village in Manhattan. I'm not picky. But they run in the millions, so for now we are just living that apartment life and enjoying it. There are so many parks in Brooklyn. It's been a really lovely experience bringing a child into New York City. It's really great that Jax and I are on the same page about this because we both love to explore. We love that there's always something new to see, coffee shops around every corner, and it's just a really energetic way of life, and we are enjoying our 2-bedroom with the rest of the city being our extended living room. was very successful accidentally in the Frankie shop and found the perfect glittery top for the holiday season. When you know, you know, you know? So I bought it, and it is going to be my go-to sparkle outfit. And now I'm headed to TAKA's pop-up. They kindly invited me to check out the store. The brand is really artist focused to create some really fun and creative pieces, so I'm excited to see how they've set everything up. And while we're walking there, I figured I'd do one more question. The question is, do you have any tips for moving to New York City? My biggest tip is probably making sure that you visit beforehand and you try to stay for a little bit longer and try out different neighborhoods. Maybe you have some friends you can stay with, or you could find an Airbnb. Different neighborhoods and boroughs feel very different in New York, and it is a lot easier to look for a full-time place when you have an idea of the area that you want to be in. And then we have a great app called Street Easy that is essentially where everybody lists their places. It's now owned by Zillow, but it's New York centric, and that is where all of the spots come online first. New Yorkers look for apartments 1 month ahead of the move-in date, so that can be really stressful. And I've looked for apartments in the past. I'm on Street Easy every day, refreshing, reaching out to realtors for tours. And then when you go and tour, have your documents ready. I'm not going to go into all the things you need, but it's a lot. Have them ready in like a Google Drive folder you can share immediately once you tour if you like the place, because they go fast and it sucks. So it's a very emotional roller coaster finding a place to live in New York, and being prepared helps manage that. I am now clearly out of breath after talking and walking, and I just walked past the pop-up, so let's go in. Just finished in TAKA, and I'm going home with an awesome hoodie, and they even gave me one for Jackson. We decorated it with little sticker appliques that basically melt onto the hoodie, and I'm told it'll last about 3 to 4 months, so it's sort of like a temporary tattoo, if you will. The people in the shop were all so nice, and Nikki, the designer and owner of the brand, and I got to chat a little bit, and she told me that they're open through the end of November, essentially November 28th at 162 Allen Street if you want to go check them out. And they are going to do a little like travel tour around the world of pop-ups. So Tokyo is next on the list early next year. So if you watch my channel and you're in Japan, maybe you can see them in person. Now I am headed to get some food because I'm actually quite hungry. It's almost 2. And all I've eaten today is the cardamom bun, which was delicious, but it's been a while. So I'm on the hunt for lunch, slowly crossing closer towards Soho from the Lower East Side, because I do need to go and make a return at ALO and get some film developed. Let's do another question while we walk. Number 4, how do you stay creative? What do you do for a living? Where do you get inspiration for all the vlogs? And I work as a product manager 9 to 5 usually, but right now I am doing YouTube full time for a bit to take a break. And I stay creative by going out into the city and just looking, watching, listening, absorbing the vibe, going to different places. I get inspiration for my videos through Google Maps. I am on there all the time. I love that app. It's probably my favorite and most used throughout the day. I also get it through Instagram and Googling things to do online. And once I get a handful of things that I want to do in a certain area and I realize there's a cluster, then I go film a video there. So I have lists that are starting and building for different parts of the city that I'm just kind of checking off. I'm always in my notes app, like writing down something else I think of or see or come across that I make sure I want to hit up. And I'm super inspired by cafe design, interior design, and all of that retail when I go. So that is why I love to capture those places. A lot of New York has high turnover as well. And so the idea of a moment in time living online, so you can kind of like scroll through the timeline, is something that I think about a lot. There are some spots where there have been restaurant after restaurant after restaurant in the same place, so you kind of see the city change. Pop-ups are so time-bound, and capturing that in a vlog is really fun because then you kind of look back and see how people activated a part of the city and a part of the neighborhood. Alright, I finished my return in ALO and I dropped my film off, and I just looked at the time, so I've decided to get lunch at home, and then I have to head back out for an event tonight in Long Island City, which is really exciting. It's a pickleball event with local businesses. I have never played pickleball, nor do I have the right shoes, but I think they have loaners. So I'm gonna head home, I'm going to eat something, and then I'm gonna change into some sort of an outfit appropriate for pickleball. And while we walk home, last question for the Q&A, are you doing vlogmas? And the answer is yes. I'm very excited. I do actually have the time and opportunity this year to do a full-blown Christmas in New York City vlogmas special. During vlogmas, I am posting 12 videos, so about 3 per week, and they're all gonna be focused on things to do for the holidays in New York City. I'm gonna be taking you to all the Christmas markets, holiday shopping, activities, gifting opportunities, food, drinks, holiday themed bars, all of that good stuff. I have a whole list planned, and one of the first videos will be a New York City Christmas Ultimate Guide, so that's similar to the 4 days in New York itinerary. You guys have a full itinerary to do if you're doing a weekend here over the Christmas season. And I am excited. I hope you are too. It's gonna be a challenge. I've never done this much editing in 1 month, but I really want to push myself this year, and Christmas is the best time in New York. So excited. All right, we are back out, and I brought my lights so you can all see me, and we are headed to an event with LIC Partnership out in Long Island City to go do some pickleball and hear about small businesses in LIC. So I'm excited. This is the first event of this kind that I'm going to. I don't really know what to expect. I've also never played pickleball, nor do I know the rules, so that is what I'm planning on Googling on the subway there.